This is a story of entwined fates, a story of magic, trust, secrets, and hope. Our story begins with Ruby Rose roaming the streets of Vale. She enters various shops before stopping to browse magazines in a dust shop. Mom has always been impossible to shop for. She flips the pages of the magazine, looking for inspiration, when suddenly commotion can be heard from the front of the store. A man named Torchwick is holding up the clerk. Behind him is a gaggle of men in dark suits with red ties. Grab the dust. He commands his crew of thugs. Ruby crouches and sneaks around a shelf of bottled dust. She peeks around a corner and watches as one of the thugs obliviously grabs bottles, not noticing her. As he frantically grabs the dust, shoving it into a bag, one bottle clatters to the ground, a few inches away from Ruby. Hey, careful with this stuff. That's bottled magic you're bonking around over there. Do you want to blow up the whole building? What a dope. She grabs the bottle that fell by her and uncorks the lid. The dust in the bottle is like a soft red sand. Fire dust. She carefully takes a pinch of it, waiting for the thug to turn his back. As soon as he does, she flicks the dust and it lights the seat of his pants on fire. With a startled yell, he flails, dropping the bag of bottled dust he was grabbing. Ruby suddenly leaps forward, her semblance activating, and she grabs hold of the bag before it can hit the ground. In a blur of petals, she continues her forward momentum, crashing into the falling thug, dragging him and his flaming pants crashing through a window. The thug tumbles pathetically to the ground, running off as he pats the last of the flames away. Ruby, still carrying the bag of dust, sighs and stands up. Whew, that was close. She looks over her shoulder and sees Torchwick and the rest of his thugs exiting the shop and approaching her. Ruby smirks and pulls out Crescent Rose. A fight ensues, with Ruby easily knocking out the thugs, juggling the bag of dust in her hands while she beats her opponents. Finally, all that's left is Torchwick. Well, these idiots clearly weren't worth hiring. I always gotta do everything myself. He aims his cane at Ruby and fires a flare at her. She quickly dodges the attack, but when she rights herself, Torchwick is gone, climbing up a nearby fire escape. Ruby grunts in frustration, gathering up the bag of cumbersome dust bottles and turning to the store clerk, who's cautiously peeking out the broken window to watch her fight. She gives him the bag, making sure he has a good grip on it so he won't drop any dust. Sorry, I opened one of them. I'll pay you back after I get that candlehead guy. She rushes after Torchwick, chasing him up to the roof of the building. Suddenly, an airship emerges from out of sight, and Torchwick climbs on board while Ruby shields her eyes from the battering winds. End of the line, Red. He tosses a loose red dust crystal he had pocketed and it clinks next to Ruby, and before she can kick it away, he fires another flare at her. Ruby turns, bracing for impact. She hears an explosion, but nothing touches her. She sees a familiar woman in front of her. She's used her axe to split Torchwick's flare in half, averting the impact of the attack from hitting the dust. Mom! Summer Rose's axe retracts into a rifle, and she fires at the airship. We see as Torchwick runs into the head of the ship to the person piloting, a woman with green scales and sharp teeth. Talk. Torchwick tells her there's a huntress and she leaps from her seat, letting Torchwick take over. Summer's bullets batter the side of the airship. When Talk appears at the open door of it, she hits a stopwatch on her side and grabs the door of the airship. She suddenly glows a soft gold color, and that glow covers the whole of the airship. Summer's bullets start to bounce off the ship. Now it's seemingly invulnerable. The ship turns and Ruby notices a mounted turret at the front pivots towards her and Summer. Mom, look out! Ruby's semblance activates and she grabs her mom in a tight hug, zipping out of range of the rapid barrage of bullets. Ruby skids to a stop and the two watch as the airship turns and flies away. Ruby and Summer both sigh as the ship leaves, and Summer turns to face Ruby, an eyebrow raised. Hi, Mom. Ruby Rose, how many times have I told you not to wander Vale by yourself at night? What are you even doing here? Well, I'm sorry, Mom. I wanted to get you a birthday present, and you kept saying you had everything you need, but that's not helpful. I still want to get you a real gift. Summer sighs and places a hand on Ruby's shoulder. Oh, Ruby. You know, maybe there is something you can do for me. Really? Yes, but you have to start listening to me. Yang, listen to me! Raven's voice cuts across the cacophony of noise around Yang. She has a firm grip on a man's warhammer, her fist reeled back to strike. Her mother's words instantly caught her attention. I told you, focus on grabbing resources. But Mom, don't waste energy on an unnecessary fight. Yang growls in frustration, then tosses the man away from her. Around her, the rest of the squadron of the Black Wing Tribe bandits were scaring off villagers, and grabbing various items and foods. Above the village they're ransacking, a vicious storm raged. Winds battered the unsuspecting villagers, and hidden at the heart of that storm, Yang could barely see Vernal as she formed the winds around her. As Yang stared her down, Mercury suddenly grabs hold of her shoulder. "Snap out of it." "Shut up, Mercury, I'm fine." Yang follows him into a nearby store, the two of them grabbing various fruits and breads, jamming the goods into bags. Yang stops and notices a batch of dried pork and quickly grabs it. "Score, we got some real meat." She and Mercury turn and runs back out, Nora already waiting for them. "Come on, slowpokes." The Black Wing Bandits disappear into the forest. As they leave, almost like magic, the storm dies away too, leaving behind calm skies and a village left in shambles. Yang, Mercury, and Nora all run together at the back of the pack. "Guess what, Nora? I got some pork." "Finally, it's been fish for nearly a whole month." "Sea bass? More like a C+. Isn't that still a passing grade?" Nora and Yang laugh, giving each other playful nudges, but Mercury rolls his eyes. "You know, you could have gotten us more stuff if you didn't have your head in the clouds." "Oh, shut up, Mercury." Yang gets serious as she watches as Vernal floats down from above the rest of them, landing at the front of the crowd and running side by side with Raven in the lead. Yang glares at Vernal while they continue to run through the trees. We cut to Weiss as she quickly zips forward, rapier slashing through various training holograms. She pivots and launches a huge barrage of various dust-infused strikes, perfectly landing every attack. She turns and looks up at the high viewing window of this training room, where she can see her mother, Willow, and the headmaster of Atlas Academy, Ironwood. Quickly she enters a room with them, taking a seat at a large ornate table. A perfect display, exactly what I expected from Willow Schnee's daughter. "So, I've passed? I'm enrolled in Atlas Academy?" Willow glances at Ironwood and he gives her a small nod. "Yes, Weiss, you've passed. But that's not all. General Ironwood here is also looking for extremely special students to be..." Her voice trails off. Weiss looks back and forth between the two. "What, Mother? What is it? I'm sure if you give me time to prepare, I'll definitely be able to meet expectations, or even exceed expectations." "And I certainly believe that. Rest assured, you are one of the students I'll be keeping in mind for this incredibly important position. But don't worry about that just yet. You should be celebrating getting into the academy. I'll see you in class next month." Weiss and Willow stand to leave, thanking Ironwood. As Weiss reaches the door, she looks back and waits for her mother, listening to their exchange. Willow places a small stack of gold coins on Ironwood's desk. "For your consideration, to keep Weiss in the forefront of your mind as you think over who your candidate will be." Ironwood glances at the gold but says nothing as Willow turns and leaves with Weiss. Their heels on the hard floors of the Atlas School training hall are the only noise between them. Finally, Willow speaks. "Weiss, the Vital Festival tournament will take place at the end of the year. If a Schnee won that tournament, it would not only be great for our image as a business, but also help your father to impress the council." Is that what Ironwood was hinting to back there? General Ironwood. And no, but it would be a good way to impress him. It might help inspire him to choose you. "Don't worry, Mother. I'll do everything I can to win every single fight." As Weiss says this, she twirls a small canister of ice dust in her fingers. Willow chuckles and mimics the same maneuver, only in her hand it's another gold coin. "And don't forget about the other means of persuasion." Weiss smiles and nods as they continue down the hall. Ruby sits next to Summer at a local tea shop. Ruby turns to watch the TV in the corner of the room. The newscaster, Lisa Lavender, is talking about the dust store robbery. 2 helpful civilians helped to drive off the threat from the local shop, including the local weaponry teacher at Beacon Academy, Summer Rose. The suspect, Roman Torchwick, is still at large and is wanted for several dust-related robberies already. "Oh, come on, they didn't even mention me." "You're only 15, honey. TV doesn't usually name-drop minors." "Well, next time, I'll get that Candlehead guy, and then they'll have to name-drop me." Between him and the White Fang, all the local hunters have been keeping really busy. Ruby stares at the TV as Lisa Lavender continues. "Faunus protection rallies have been held regularly in Atlas and Mantle, demanding the council reconsider their ruling on the Faunus Equal Pay Bill. Unfortunately, the White Fang has taken a more drastic approach as one of the council members, Mr. Sylvester Sleet, had apparently an explosive attached to his car. The councilman is fortunately safe, but the White Fang has left a letter promising they won't rest until the Faunus Equal Pay Bill has been re-evaluated." I suppose Vale's not the only place getting unwanted attention from the White Fang. I don't think the White Fang are really all that bad. I think they're just desperate and angry. You can't blame them. I'd be angry too. Summer looks over to the door as it opens, and she waves as a man and a younger boy enter the shop. Professor Ozpin, Oscar, over here! As they approach, Ruby squirms, struggling to swallow the sip of hot tea in her mouth. Ozpin? The Ozpin? Like your boss, Ozpin? I see my reputation precedes me, he says as he sits across from Ruby and Summer. Summer, as much as I enjoy a late cup of tea, I imagine there's a more specific reason you've invited us here. Oz, you know about my daughter, Ruby, and I'm sure you've heard about her little adventure tonight. Whoa, you're the one who saved the dust shop, aren't you? I was nothing, but it was pretty exciting doing some real Huntress stuff, even though Lisa Lavender left my name out of the official news report. Well, I remember you saying you were nervous about Oscar being younger than the other students, and Ruby's the same age he is, and after tonight, I think it would be a good idea if she also skipped ahead to join Beacon Academy. Ruby turns to her mother, surprised. Really? Do you mean it? I get to join Beacon Academy now? I can train to be a real Huntress now? She looks back to Ozpin, who's quietly looking between the two women. Oscar, however, also looks surprised and thrilled. I mean, if you agree to it, Mr. Ozpin, sir. The kids stare excitedly at him. You know, it is my birthday. Getting to be my daughter's teacher next month would really be a great birthday gift. Okay, I agree. Ruby can attend Beacon. Ruby and Oscar both jump excitedly. I'm gonna be a real Huntress! I'm not gonna be the only kid in Beacon! What's your weapon? I can't wait to see everyone's weapon in the whole school. It'll be so cool. I hope our teams can do projects together. Maybe we'll even end up on the same team. Summer and Ozpin chuckle. Hey, how about you two take these copper coins and get yourself some ice cream at the shop next door. Ruby takes the coins and stands up with Oscar. I'm getting strawberry with chocolate chip. I want pistachio. The kids laugh and rush out of the tea shop. Summer watches them leave, then turns back to Ozpin. Summer, there's more on your mind than just Beacon and ice cream, isn't there? Summer nods to Ozpin, thoughtfully stirring her tea. I know she's still young, but I think Ruby could be the next maiden. Yang's spoon sadly digs out a small cut of pork from the bowl of stew she's holding. This sucks. I found the pork. Why did I get so little of it? Are you saying you want special treatment from Mom? Mercury laughs as he sits down next to Yang on the log she's sitting at. Nora sits on her other side. They're in the Black Wing camp, where all of the tribe are sharing a meal from a large cauldron. Don't tease her, Mercury. You know Yang doesn't want special treatment. Nora, don't fight my battles for me. I'm not fighting it for you. We're fighting together, like how we always do. This isn't a battle. Why are you always looking for a fight? Yang sighs heavily and stares at Vernal across the camp. I think I know why. I just don't understand why I wasn't chosen to be the maiden. I mean, does Raven not think I'm good enough? I'm her daughter. Why didn't she trust me with this? Maybe she didn't want to give you special treatment? Yang gives him an annoyed stare. Suddenly, another bandit comes running into the camp. Grim! Beowulfs! Coming this way! The tribe starts moving, getting ready to fight the oncoming threat. You know, I swear there's been more Grim attacks ever since we brought that thing into camp. Yang looks over to Raven's tent, barely able to see the blue light from the magical item hidden by her bedside. Maybe Vernal shouldn't have taken it. Raven wanted it, for our protection. We don't even know what it does. Raven says it'll protect us, and I trust her. Don't you? Do you two trust your leader? After she's taken you in? What about you, new guy? Don't you trust her or not? Nora quickly mutters her allegiance to Raven, but Mercury rolls his eyes. Ugh, always trying to pick a fight, aren't you? Yang sighs and looks towards the front gates, chugging the broth from her stew. She tosses the empty bowl onto the ground and charges towards the gate. At least I trust her. Yang runs as hard as she can to get to the front of the pack, seeing the Beowulfs closing in towards their camp. Her eyes light up red and her hair glows as she slams her fist into the monsters. She viciously beats the Grim away as the others from the tribe catch up to her. She's like a machine as she kills one Grim after the next. We cut to Weiss's bedroom, late at night. Her bed is huge and ornate. Her dresser is huge and ornate. Everything is huge and ornate in this room. She sits in front of a stylized laptop and types away. We can hear her inner monologue as she types. Personal journal, 27th day of the month of storms. I, unsurprisingly, passed my exam and officially will attend Atlas Academy next month. Mother and Ironwood, She cuts herself off, shakes her head, and slams on the delete button, then returns to typing. General Ironwood implies I could be selected for an important position. I will make sure I get it. Mother always makes it seem so effortless when she gives incentivization. I should work on that, and I'll remind General Ironwood how much our family does for him. I will. She cuts herself off as a notification chimes in the corner of her screen. It's a DM from Father. She opens it. It's a news article about Councilman Sleet's attempted assassination. Below it is a message that reads, "The filthy faunus are at it again." Weiss grunts in disapproval and clicks away, opening up a DM labeled Mother and typing quickly. It reads, "Father is saying unsavory things about faunus again. Make him stop." There's a quiet pause, then a response that reads, "I'll handle him." There's another moment of quiet, and then through the walls, Weiss can hear muffled yelling as her parents start to argue somewhere else in the mansion. Weiss clicks her tongue and stares at the news article, staring at the stock image of the White Fang, people with animal traits and white masks. In the front is a man with bull horns and spiked red hair. Then she sharply slams her mousepad and closes the article. We cut to the quiet jungles of Menagerie. Blake watches as the sun starts to rise, standing in line in front of the White Fang leader, Sienna. The White Fang war room is large, and Sienna's throne is beautiful. There are good omens on the horizon for the faunus. People are taking our cause seriously. They're taking us seriously. It's time we start to strike more frequently and with greater care. Blake looks around the room, filled with high-ranking recruits. I have 2 very important missions that only my most trusted comrades can complete. First, a new mission to Atlas. Adam, since you're familiar with the area, you will lead this mission. Blake glances nervously at Adam, staring at the large STC scar on his face. Yes, Sienna. You will need a team to accompany you on this mission. You will be taking Yuma, Trifa, and... Not me, Tyrion. Blake sighs with relief as she glances to Tyrion, who giggles happily at his name being called. Blake and Son, you 2 will be heading out towards Vale. Everyone else, leave us. Blake watches as the rest of the recruits in the room leaves, and she steps closer to Sienna. She stands shoulder to shoulder with Sun, who gives her a friendly smile and wink before turning back to Sienna. What's our mission, High Leader? A human has hired the White Fang to work with him and his associates in Vale. Not only has he paid nicely, but rumor has it he's looking for a powerful magical artifact hidden at the Hunter's Academy. Congratulations, you 2 are officially enrolled at Beacon. She hands each of them scrolls with letters of acceptance on their screens. Adam, from off to the side, scoffs. Is the White Fang nothing more than hired thugs for human causes? Sienna, this mission is a disgrace. Don't talk to our leader that way, Adam. Blake and Adam glare at each other before Sienna continues. It's good to make friends, Adam. Our new friend is Roman Torchwick. Sienna slides the screen on Blake's scroll, revealing a tab of information about the human named Roman Torchwick, including a picture of him. And it's all thanks to our new friend and his associates that you 2 have gotten these letters of acceptance. If they can make this a reality, imagine what else they can help the White Fang with. Is it safe to just send the 2 of us on this mission? A full team of faunus would raise suspicions. You'll be meeting up with 2 of Roman's associates in your school once you've landed in Vale. Now go and gather your things. Your boat's leaving in less than an hour. High Leader, what exactly is it we're supposed to be looking for? What is this powerful artifact? Sienna places a hand on Blake's shoulder. That is exactly your mission to find out. I know Mr. Torchwick is hiding information. Make sure you look into anything our new friends might know about what could be beneficial to the faunus's cause. Blake and Son salute Sienna and leave the room. Blake shoots one last glare at Adam before walking out of sight. Adam turns to Sienna again. And what is our mission, High Leader? Sienna seats herself into her throne. This is your chance for revenge, Adam. I want you to assassinate the princess of the Schnee Dust Company. Clouds part in the sky as the airship Ruby is riding in glides over the city of Vale. She holds her luggage close to her as she presses her face closer to the airship window. She stares in amazement as the crowded airship floats over the city streets and then over water, heading to the school of Beacon Academy. It's finally happening. I'm gonna start training as a real huntress. She looks around the airship, looking for Oscar, though he doesn't seem to be on board. She notices a couple of other interesting characters, though. A faunus cat girl with black hair, talking to a blonde monkey faunus boy, a blonde human boy who seems to be nervously praying to himself, an ornately dressed girl with pink and brown hair, a tall boy who keeps checking his scroll over and over again, and twin girls with piercing green eyes. Ruby turns back to the window. They were only a few minutes away from Beacon now. Don't worry, Mom. I'll make you proud. Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Genital War Thunder, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Isaiah, Scaring Crows, Not All That Evil, Messiah Complex, Jacob, Ben's Sketchbook, The Watcher, Omega Fighter, Trash, Wild Pilot, Josh, Gino, Twisty, Juan, Bunkin Duncan, Alpha 99, Hoodie Angel, Jesper, and Hut Mutt Butt. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun with this first episode. Let me know what you're thinking. It's gonna be a fun little AU. I hope you have fun with it. I hope you're excited. It's gonna be 10 episodes long. I will see how the release schedule is gonna go. I hope you had fun with it. I'm so excited. Any and all thoughts and opinions about this AU and your expectations or your own AU ideas, I'd love to see them in the comments below. And I can't wait to keep going into this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.